Hey guys, I'm back with another episode on the Millennial Profit Show. In this episode, I would like to share with all of you the 10 finest stand-up comics of all time. 10th on my list is Kevin Hart.
He's an asshole. Like, my daughter is an asshole. She is. Like, we argue. Me and my daughter honestly argue. She can't even talk. Like, she know a couple words, right? She can put a couple sentences together. But it's like every time I tell her something, she always got something to say back. It don't matter what I say, she always got to give me something back. And it make me mad. We got into an argument over juice the other day. She came into the room. She was like, "Daddy, juice." I said, "No, you had enough juice. Go get some water." And she looked at me. She was like, juice. And I looked at her. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Sit your little ass down and get the goddamn... I was so mad.
9th on my list is Chris Rock.
That's right, at the show, right now. That's right, just break up. We got break up booths in the back. That's right, but before you leave, you better make sure you got some options. That's right, because some of y'all been in relationships so long, you don't know how ugly you are.
8th on my list is George Carlin.
The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables. Shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea, 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time, and the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you that.
7th on my list is Dave Chappelle.
You know, like when my kids were little and the tour bus would pull up to the house, these motherfuckers would spill out. "Dad is home, hooray!" And they'd hug me and kiss me, and then as the years went on, they'd get less interested. "Hey everybody, look, it's Mr. Promises back from the road."
6th on my list is Kanan Gill.
Getting a coffee, which is the national sport. And it's a whole, when you walk in, you have to first say, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm good, thanks. How are you?" "I'm good as well." "Hot outside, isn't it?" "It is hot." Then you can begin speaking. In this much time, the population of India has doubled. Don't do small talk. Do only big talk. Talk to an auntie. "Hello, beta. Hello. What is your yearly salary?"
5th on my list is Louis C.K.
You weren't supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to just ask her out. There was a system. My daughters told me it still works this way in middle school. There's a thing where the boy asks his friend to ask her friend to ask her what she would say if he asked her out. How did children just know this Elizabethan parlor thing?
4th on my list is Daniel Fernandez.
Let me get this straight. You're a Kashmiri from Kashmir, which has been in lockdown for how many days now? More than 200 days. Lockdown. You're saying they're doing good work? Okay. Your parents taught you something, so according to that, say something. So is the lesson that they taught you this? Just agree with the people who can kill you so you can live. Is that the lesson? Somewhat. Oh, smart. Your parents are smart.
Third on my list is Veer Das.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't been, you must go because your jobs have. Before I start telling jokes, I should clarify something, guys. I have an Indian accent. This is how I talk. I'm not doing a bit. There's no Apu from The Simpsons joke coming up. But give me a little bit of time, my accent will grow on you, right? Or just give me like 4 or 5 generations will be fine. And it's okay to...
Second on my list is Jimmy Carr.
Too crude. So she's been brought along to the show and it's not for her. Are you going to make it up to her somehow later on? Maybe pop a thumb in her ass while you're fucking her? Madam, you can't sink down any lower in that seat. That is as low as that.
First on my list is Andrew Schulz.
I learned a lot about my girl when we moved in together. I learned she's a fucking psychopath. Just based on her Netflix queue. That's it. I turn on her Netflix. It's just every type of serial killer documentary you could imagine. There's a guy who kills nuns, guy who kills hookers, guy who kills kids, cooking show. Who watches 6 hours of serial killers and then British Bake Off to wash it down? How many of you ladies in here enjoy serial killer shows? This is why you don't like sports. I just want to let you know.